While not exactly a new genre, I've noticed an uptick in the number of time-slipping manga out there. With so many people regretting decisions they've made in the past, is it any wonder that there's a universal desire to go back in time and do it all over again? Welcome once again to Musings by Danon. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Danon, and I'm currently reading over 600 manga and light novels. My two favorite genres are fantasy and romance. But since I'm a literature nerd who cares more about story structure and tropes rather than how cool the fight scenes are, we tend to focus on the story rather than the art. Which brings me to the subject of today's video, time-slipping manga. Also, and I know it's annoying to keep hearing this, but statistically, if I don't ask you to like and subscribe, the video gets fewer subscribers. Oh, one more quick announcement before we get started. I'm going to be streaming on this channel as well as Twitch. It'll mostly be Final Fantasy XIV, but you're more than welcome to pop in and talk about manga. Honestly, about half my streams are talking about manga, anime, or Commander. Time-slipping isn't exactly a new concept, but there are 3 current manga that I've been enjoying that inspired me to do this video. The one thing they all have in common is that they're slice-of-life series rather than fantasy series, other than the time-slipping. I've read a few series that involve time-slipping. Re:Zero comes to mind, but there are also a few manhwa that do the same. But these 3 are all mostly slice of life. Let's discuss each of them and then make some comparisons. But before that, a quick word from today's sponsor, Temu. I'm sure you've already heard of Temu, but maybe you haven't ordered from them yet. If not, don't worry, they're not as bad as Wish.com. I've ordered plenty of things from them over the last few years and haven't had a bad experience. Just remember, you're ordering clothes in Asian sizes, so be sure to get larger ones if you're American. If you're wanting unique products for very cheap and to help support the channel, click on the link down below. Yes, they even have anime figures. After years of degrading health from overwork at a black company, Nihama Shinshiro passes away at his desk, only to awaken in his high school body. Throughout his life, Shinshiro never tried hard at anything. He never took any risks, didn't make a lot of friends, and never confessed to the girl he was in love with. Average grades, average college, average effort. Eventually, he was unable to land a job at a good company and wound up working for a company that relentlessly bullied its employees, forced them to work long hours, and broke their spirits. But now, Shinshiro finds that he has the chance to do it all over again. His biggest regret wasn't the fact that he didn't try hard, nor that he was forced to work at a black company. His biggest regret was the fact that he never got to confess his feelings to Hakura Shinjun. Although this was Shinshiro's dying regret, he doesn't remember it until later. He always thought of her as an angel, a perfect girl. Not only did she come from a good family, she was smart, kind, and beautiful. However, she sadly took her own life one day, years before Shinshiro lost his. He didn't find out for weeks because he was too busy working. This time, though, he's determined to change that. But he also has almost 15 years of experience as an adult. He doesn't have time for high school games, bullies, or cliques. He's here to learn and improve his life, and save the life of the girl he was in love with. Throughout high school, Nanamura was a lone wolf. Every day he sat quietly at his desk, then went home, did his homework, and read books. He never made a single friend. By the end of the first day of high school, the groups had already formed and he was all alone. The day he graduated, he was walking home, regretting his entire existence, when he saw Hanamitsu, the most beautiful girl in class, about to be hit by a truck. He pushes her out of the way, saving her life, but at the cost of his own. The next day, Nanamura wakes up in bed and it's the first day of high school. He goes through life exactly the same as he did last time. He didn't learn a thing. Of course he couldn't suddenly change. Change takes time. He'll need to figure out what kind of person he should be. But this time, he has a helper. Hanamitsuji also time-slipped. She remembers him saving her. At his funeral and even afterwards at her family's shrine, she prayed as hard as she could for a miracle to happen. After all, it's not fair that her savior should die while she should live. The next time, she's going to force him to change. How to Meet Tsuji is going to make sure Nanamura has friends and enjoys his high school life. The newest one of the three, and the reason this video got made. Our story begins with our couple leaving their divorce hearing. They are both happy to no longer be married. For years, neither of them has been happy in their marriage, and now they're finally free. As they say goodbye, parting for the final time, Kohei mumbles under his breath, "Until next time." Yuzuka turns to him, shocked that he said that, and almost gets hit by a car. Kohei tries to push her out of the way, and wakes up with his little sister smacking him to wake him up. After all, it's the first day of high school. Kohei can't believe he time-slipped. He gets to do it all over again. And he can avoid Yuzuka this time as well. Oh, wait. She sat behind me in class. That's how we met. Of course, Kohei wasn't the only one to time-slip. Yuzuka also remembers everything. So now we have this not a romance with two people who used to be close, but now fight like an old married couple. Because that's what they were. At least, before the divorce. Only 3 chapters out so far, but every one has been delightful. Series where the main character gets a second chance at life are a lot like isekai in my opinion. Sure, they're not in a different world, but they do have a sort of cheat power. They're now in the body of a 15-year-old, but they have the experience of someone much older. In one of our examples, it was only 3 years, but in the other 2, our main characters were in their 30s, or at least close to them. They were adults, with years more experience in education beyond what they had when they first started high school. Can you imagine how much different your life would be if you were an adult and could cut through all the hormone-induced drama that pervades high school? Think about it. Think about all the skills you've picked up since you've become an adult. How to control a conversation, how to run reports, how to gather information and influence a crowd of people with your data, running meetings, training, budgeting, grocery shopping, project management. All of these are skills you pick up from being an adult and working in an office. So when the class, full of young, inexperienced high school kids, starts arguing, you come prepared with a presentation and counter-arguments ready to go. You bring order to the chaos. Of course, something that isn't often discussed is the moral issue that comes with returning to your past self. When I first explained the concept of this video to Cute Stuff, she was appalled. The idea of a man coming back in time and using future knowledge to get the girl is creepy. Think about it. Someone comes along and they're all of a sudden perfect. They have deep knowledge of the things you're interested in. They know how to treat you perfectly. They are the ideal boyfriend. Why? Because they basically spied on you for years and learned everything about you. Imagine a stalker coming back in time before they were arrested and hit with a restraining order, and they try to date you. That would be horrifying. And if that were Shinchiro's goal in The Revenge of My Youth, I would 100% agree with her. But that's not his goal. His goal in this series is twofold. His primary goal is to make sure he has a better life. To accomplish this, Shinchiro will study hard, go to a good school, get a great job at a respectable company, and make enough money to take care of his mother, who is hiding her illness for the sake of her kids, and dies a few years after his sister graduates from college. His second goal is to save Haruka from the despair that eventually led her to taking her own life. He didn't know what to do as a kid, but now, with his extra experience, he can see what's happening. Haruka is an innocent. She is beautiful, book-smart, and sociable, and clueless about her personal image due to being a bit of an airhead. She is friendly to everyone, boys and girls alike, which makes a lot of the other girls jealous. High schoolers are a petty and vindictive lot, and jealousy is an ugly emotion that runs rampant in teenagers, but can be even worse as adults. Eventually, Haruka found herself bullied to the point of quitting her job by her female coworkers, and then her dad's company collapsed. Shinchiro wants to change that. He wants to ensure Haruka has a happy ending. Whether or not he's involved with that ending is beside the point. So long as Haruka ends up with a happy and fulfilling life, Shinchiro will consider that a win. But maybe, along the way, these feelings of admiration will develop into something deeper. Which is also what happens in Please Leave Me Alone. Unlike The Revenge of My Youth, here's a series where two people get to start over. One who absolutely needs it, and the other who is relentlessly trying to ensure that he has a good high school life. He has to interact with others in the class, have conversations with them, and even learn about the other students instead of just sitting quietly and ignoring everyone. And in the process of helping him come out of his shell, maybe she's developing feelings for him? Though that's just what I'm guessing from the recent chapters. But the main story I wanted to focus on is the new one, My Ex-Wife is Young Again and She's in My Class. Similar to The Revenge of My Youth, our main characters were both sent back in time. But, rather than strangers, classmates who barely interacted, they were a married couple who had been together for over 10 years. They know each other very well. Their entire lives revolve around each other. Eating, going to movies, playing video games, reading manga. Everything that Kohei loved doing were things that he wound up sharing with his wife. They were things that she wound up loving as well. But all those memories are now tainted by the divorce. Can he enjoy manga again? Can he enjoy video games? Can he even spend time with Yazuka without fighting? They both know each other so well that they finish each other's sentences. Is history destined to repeat, or will they go their separate ways? Only time will tell, but I do like the direction this one is headed. We all have regrets. It's part of being human. But the common thread that ties all of these stories together is the regret of avoidance. It is the regret of not doing something, as opposed to doing something. Shinshiro regrets not working hard in order to have a better life in the future. Nanamura regrets never making friends. Kohei regrets not working hard enough to save his marriage. At least, I think he does. We haven't gotten that far in the story yet. Regardless, while we may regret the things we've done, we always regret the shots we didn't take. The girl you never asked out. The project you never tried. So what have you always wanted to do? What book did you want to read? What video did you want to make? What story did you want to write? Who did you always have a crush on but were too scared to say anything to? The only thing stopping you is you. And for some of you degenerates, the law, but that's fine. Stay out of prison, my friends. Otherwise, how will you be able to watch my videos? Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cute Stuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. There are several tiers to choose from. You can pick an anime or manga for me to do a video about, or you can join our monthly manga club. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Danny, Muffins, Marcus, Brett, Roxy, Sean, Mark, Borgie, Nazwin, Midge, Alix, Alex, Conga, Aaron, Chris, Robert, Michael, Skinwalker, Austin, William, Dan, Pi, Dead Segway, Turner, and Triz. You guys are awesome. I post anime or manga videos often, or you can click here to watch additional videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Musings by Danon.